Hello everyone, I'm back to inspire you to want to live. My name is Dan Pelly, inspirational speaker for suicide awareness and prevention. I'm a two-time attempted suicide survivor. I'm not proud of it. I don't plan on going back for a third. The theme of this video is a question for you. A wonderful life? It's all up to you. And when I realized that in my life, everything changed. Yes, we need people to listen to us. Yes, we need support. Yes, we need medical treatment when we're that depressed. We need to go into groups. We need to understand our illness. Once we have an understanding of this illness, it's still when you're all alone and you're laying in bed for over a year or whatever length of time you don't want to get out of bed and you want to isolate with this pain that we're in, because it really comes down to the pain. I get comments, I haven't made a video in, some time now, life takes over, busy. I've been putting a lot of energy into other social medias, and working other areas and speaking and so forth. But I thought it was time to make this video. I hope everybody had a decent 2018 and happy holidays that are going on. I know it's a tough time of the year. Coming into spring, always the renewal of things in life. And you have a happy new year. But every day for me is a new year. But I stand for the dignity of life, even after wanting to take my life twice. In 1996, after a heartbreaking divorce, lost a house, loss of a business, real estate business, and so forth, and moving, too many traumatic things at once, got depressed, and got clinical depressed, and the suicidal ideation built and built and built till I wanted to attempt, and this is not to advocate suicide, obviously, or trigger anybody, but it was a reality. And I realized after the attempt, and I'm lucky to be here from what happened, and you can watch any of my videos, I don't want it to be all about that and about the doom and gloom. I want to be about inspiring that we can pull out of this. Now, we don't see it at the time. I would never think that I would be here, because I had a second attempt in 2010 after my stepdaughter almost got killed in an accident, a drunk driver, that she jumped in the wrong car and made a bad decision, and there it was. And she's doing very well, and she survived it, but she has a traumatic brain injury, and she was 16 at the time. Love her dearly, love my kids dearly. And obviously we say we want to live for our kids and we want to live for others. We need to live for ourselves. This self-love is very important. And how we grew up, is especially the men, we got to be strong, and we got to be courageous, and we got to don't show any signs of weakness, don't cry. It's all bullshit, okay? I grew up with the toughest father. I'm not the toughest guy on the block, but I can hold my own. When people say on my posts, it's the coward's way out, it has nothing to do with it at all. There's some real cowards in this world that I know, ill intent people. They have ill intent and they want to hurt other people. Those are the cowards to me. And but I tell people it has nothing to do with that. It's all about the pain, and it's severe, and it gets to the point where you're not thinking rational. And when you're not thinking rational, you can go into a psychotic state, no matter if it's an immediate trauma long-drawn depression. But you're going to have to step out of bed. You're going to have to get out and deal with it. I was paranoid. I was schizophrenic. I had schizophrenia going on. I was like the world was caving in on me because of this depression that was building up and this chemical imbalance I was in. I'm an advocate for medication. When you're chemically imbalanced, you got to get the right mix. I didn't find the right therapy, right away. I didn't find the right therapist. Or the right meds. I was switching meds all the time. But I tell you one thing, I kept trying. If I didn't like a therapist, I'd go for a different therapist. Everybody's illness is different. You're going to have to really look at yourself and your self-awareness of what do I need to live vibrantly and to live a wonderful life. It's my favorite movie. It was my favorite movie before my attempts. It's a Wonderful Life. You have so much to live for. Now, I'm not saying it as rah, hey, you got a lot to live for. Why do you want to kill yourself? I know where you are. For people that are on this, on the other side that want to kill yourself, and I want to connect with that one person. Yes, you. And I wish I had someone to listen to the way the social media is now, and other people that have survived suicide that I could listen to and get inspired by. I didn't have that in 96, maybe a little bit in 2010. But when you're isolating and you're suffering, the last thing you want to do is listen to anybody or go out to anything about suicide. This is the disconnect we have, why the suicide rate is 45,000 a year and over 800,000 people in the world. That ain't counting the millions that attempt. It's a fast-paced world, the self-gratification, all of it. Everything has to be immediate. This recovery is not going to be easy for you, okay? It's never easy where you're going to, I'm going to snap out of it, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. All these things that people talk about where it's just not a reality. But I knew, even from the first time when I had to work hard and work my way out and the support I needed, but I had to get up and go and get moving. If you don't do that, you're going to stay sick and people are going to look at you like, yep, you're sickly. When you show healthiness, okay, he's healthy again. It's okay. Same thing in 2010. I went to a recovery program. I climbed 5 flights of stairs every day, and just to get my physical, ability back, because you're so depleted and the pain and the suffering and I just, no matter how much I was hurting, I said I'm going to climb these stairs when I go to this recovery program, and I was sitting with people that were a lot worse off than me, but I was bad enough. When you want to take your life, you're in a serious situation. Some people look at it like, life's not worth living. This is where the problem is too, because why isn't life worth living? Is it because of your situation? Is it because, something as drastic as suicide to attempt? You say to yourself, I don't want to live anymore. And it's just like, I was saying that to myself, and now when I think about it, I'm like, look at what I would have missed. You would have missed, how important your life is. And it's not just about how much family you have around and how much friends are around or how you fit in society. It's for you and you alone that you value your life. And, the self-love that it's going to take for your own life. And a lot of this loathing that we have, and that we're not accepted, and we're looking for people's, attention or affections, or we want people to acknowledge us or be proud of us. This is not going to be something that, is going to get you better when you're waiting on things like this. Because once you realize that your life is precious and that it is worth living and never give up, that's where you're going to start seeing the change. And as I pecked away at my recovery and was on 5 meds at one time, and I'm med-free today, I've been a practicing Buddhist for 10 years now, and it's really elevated my life immensely. This is not to push religion on anybody, but you need to find a purpose in your life. I don't know what that is, because I don't know you, but I felt I needed to turn my poison into medicine, which I wrote a 33-page program in college, went to college late in life, older, and I never got it off the ground. Decided to raise another family, loving kids that I have. I love all my kids and the support, and I'm always, here for them. And but when these things were occurring, and I never got it off the ground, and I was very discouraged, and then my stepdaughter got hurt in 2007 and into 8, and it was traumatic, and took a brain injury, and she's doing well today and has a very loving family, loving mother, and she's living the best life she can with this brain injury. But I think once we realize that it is going to take us to do it, because when we complain and we say how much we want to die or we want to get out of this life, there's a black cloud that hangs over our head, and there's only so much of that people are going to want to listen to, no matter how much you say it. and it's only going to affect you. So as I was going to these programs and doing everything I was doing to recover, what changes in my heart? When your heart is broken and your heart loses all hope and you only see darkness, it takes a lot to see the light. But once your heart just gets that little spark of hope and I can do this, man. I can pull out of this sickness I'm in, and I can do it, but it's going to take time. So whether it took 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, the main thing is to keep continuing advancing so you can pull out of it. And I think the best medicine, besides medication you might be on, is to find that purpose in your life and to want to live for something. Turn the poison into medicine. Whether it's, what I'm doing, I'm speaking about suicide. If you've been there to help others, some other mission, some other dream you have, to break through. I mean, it took me a lot of years to break through to do these videos and to get out there and start speaking to people. But if you change one life, that one life behind this screen, say, well, he can do it, I can do it. I think, it's very possible for people to survive. And this suicide rate, with all the awareness and prevention, it's going up, not down. I think the isolation is a problem. Obviously, we're in such deep isolation with life that our loved ones, if you're listening for the people that are suffering, it's going to take more than just listening to them. You're going to have to do some tough love and get them some help. You're going to have to, pull them out of bed. I mean, not literally physically, but you got to, be determined to get them out of bed and say, look, you need to go get help. You need to work your way through this. And as you see that, but I think that's the main thing that we need to do. But this, I don't want to say, hey, like you got a lot to live for. You got, what's the matter with you? And live, like people say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and tough it out. Has nothing to do with that. It's all about the pain, and that's what I wanted to end when my 2 attempts happened. It was about the pain. And then when I'm working on my physical self, working out, eating correctly, not abusing the drugs and anything like that, drinking, everything in moderation in life, no matter what it is. And you have to be careful, what direction you're going in. So I think the main thing is for you to really think about this determination that you're going to have, because nobody is going to do this for you, and nobody's going to give you the magic pill. You are the magic pill. Your heart, your soul, your mind, and working your way through to function vibrantly. We weren't born in this world to suffer. We were born to be happy. And I think you can be happy. And it's just a matter of, no matter how much difficulties we're facing or how much we're suffering, either financially, physically, mentally, relationships, whatever it is. I think for you to really say to yourself, like I said to myself, nobody's going to do this for me, man. Nobody is going to make me better but me. And I think that's what I want to leave you with, is that it is a wonderful life. And when I got a lot of comments from all my friends and people on Facebook, it was always about the suffering, of course. That, we get knocked down and we get back up, and it's the suffering that, that you fight your way through and you can be victorious. And suffering was the main theme in everybody's, comments about how to contribute, to this video. And, I just wanted to thank everybody that did comment on that, because it gives me a lot of insight about, the suffering, obviously, and where it is for people when they are suffering, and what it's going to take for them to hang on. Because if you can get through these dark times, all of a sudden you start saying, geez, I'm glad I wasn't successful. Geez, I'm glad I didn't even attempt, because I would have missed this relationship. I would have missed this part of life. We have to suffer what there is to suffer, and we need to enjoy what there is to enjoy. And I just want to leave you with that too. And I want to leave you also my very last thing about determination, and I think it's very strong advice that I've gotten. When your determination changes, everything else begins to move in the direction you desire. The moment you resolve to be victorious, every nerve and fiber in your being immediately orientates itself towards your success. This is very important. Determination's everything. And I want to wish you that for your new year. Stay determined. Your life matters. Never give up. I'll see you on the next video. Like, subscribe. You can find me on my Facebook public page, Dan Pelly. I'm on Twitter at Pelly57, Instagram, and follow me, and hopefully I can encourage you, inspire you to that life is worth living. So again, Happy New Year. My name's Dan Pelly, inspirational speaker for suicide awareness prevention. Your life matters. Never give up. Talk to you soon. Ciao.